Judicial Watch uncovers evidence proving Soros was pulling Obama's strings all along, by Amy Moreno for TruthFeedNews.com. Conservative watchdog group Judicial Watch has done it again. They have obtained 32 pages of documents that prove that Obama used taxpayer dollars to interfere in the Albanian government by funding a Soros group who was pushing radical left-wing politics and activities to push liberal reform, quote, namely in the courts. The Soros group also worked to get other like-minded radical groups funded with taxpayers' hard-working money. From Judicial Watch, Washington, D.C., Judicial Watch obtained 32 pages of records showing the Obama administration sent U.S. taxpayers' funds to a group backed by billionaire George Soros, which used the money to fund left-wing political activities in Albania, including working with the country's socialist government to push for highly controversial judicial reform. The records also detail how the Soros operation helped the State Department review grant applications from other groups for taxpayer funding. I mean, are you kidding me? Our money was going to fund these left-wing groups in Albania? I mean, is this unbelievable? This man should be put in behind bars. I mean, already with this. Enough is enough already. The records were obtained in a May 26, 2017 FOIA lawsuit against the U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, after both the State Department and USAID failed to respond to a March 31st, 2017 FOIA request. Judicial Watch versus U.S. Department of State and the U.S. Agency for International Development. Judicial Watch agreed to dismiss the lawsuit after it received the documents and payments of attorney's fees. The new documents show U.S. aid funds were funneled through the agency's civil society project to back Soros's left-wing Open Society Foundation in Albania, particularly the Soros operation efforts to give the socialist government greater control of the judiciary. USAID reportedly gave $9 million in 2016 to the Justice for All campaign, which is overseen by Soros's East-West Management Institute. In March of 2017, a group of 6 U.S. senators led by Senator Mike Lee, Republican of Utah, sent a letter to the Secretary of State, Rex Tillerson, asking that he investigate charges that the U.S. government was using taxpayer funds to assist Soros in Albania. The letter said Foundation Open Society Albania and its experts with funding from USAID have created the controversial strategy document for Albanian judicial reform. Some leaders believe that these reforms are ultimately aimed to give the Prime Minister and left-of-center government full control over the judiciary. In the Albanian parliament, opposition leaders have labeled the strategy a Soros-sponsored reform. The new records released by Judicial Watch include an April 2016 memo from the U.S. Embassy in Tirana that reveals that the embassy sponsored a survey along with Soros's Open Society Foundation to measure Albanian citizens' knowledge, support, and expectations of justice reform. The Soros Group survey reported that 91% of respondents either fully support or somewhat support the need for judicial reform. The poll did not specify the type of reform the Soros Group was seeking. Also, records dated February 2017 show that the State Department used taxpayer funds to co-sponsor a second poll with the Open Society Foundation on judicial reforms that would essentially solidify the left's control of the Albanian government. The report notes that the U.S. Embassy's Public Affairs section and the Open Society Foundation each provided funding to a local organization to conduct a public opinion poll on attitudes towards the judicial reform effort. The records also reveal that the State Department gave the Soros organization direct input for its own program funding reviews in Albania. The February 10, 2017 report on engagement with the Open Society Foundation for Albania notes that as one of the major assistance providers in Albania, representatives from the Open Society Foundation are frequently asked to participate in technical reviews of application that we received for funding. The U.S. ambassador to Albania, Donald Liu, a holdover from the Obama administration, has been closely linked to Soros and the socialist government in Albania. In May 2017, Liu helped undermine Albanian opposition party plans to protest the upcoming parliamentary election by declaring that the U.S. would recognize the election results even if opposition parties refuse to participate. Liu has been described in the U.S. press as a driving force behind Albania's judicial reforms. The Obama administration quietly spent at least $9 million in U.S. taxpayer dollars in direct collusion with left-wing billionaire George Soros' backing of a socialist government in Albania. It is particularly outrageous that the State Department allowed the Soros operation to help direct taxpayer funds to other groups. Judicial Watch President Tom Fitton said George Soros is a billionaire and he shouldn't be receiving taxpayer support to advance his radical left agenda to undermine freedom here, at home, and abroad. How did this all happen? Do you see the corruption that was taking place under Obama? I mean, just this alone. Can't you get him on something and put the traitor, that treasonous traitor, behind bars along with his cohort Hillary Clinton? I mean, it is just unbelievable what was taking place. And can you imagine how much we don't know? How much is not uncovered yet? We'd really be in for a real shocker. What business did that have with America? All that, those millions of dollars in taxpayer funds? Unbelievable. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And again, thank you so much for watching.